Hello, everyone, and welcome to this really exciting live stream that we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be joined with Shaw, the founder of Eliza Labs. Probably doesn't need an introduction, but just in case, for those of you don't know what sort of Eliza is, the Eliza operating system and sort of Shaw's role in it. Shaw, I'll hand the mic over to you just so you can give a quick introduction, and then I'll basically map out sort of the very high-level rough agenda for this call, what we're going to be doing. But Shaw, please, over to you, my friend.
Sure. Eliza is an open source AI agent framework. So obviously LLMs are really powerful, but in order to actually operate in the world and do the kinds of things we want them to do agentically, interacting with us or doing things on our behalf, we have to build a framework around them and connect them to different, places in the world and give them things they can do in ways to interact with us. And so that's what we're doing, is creating this framework around LLMs. And so we're LLM agnostic. You can use almost all LLMs I can think of are supported. And we have people building plugins for pretty much everything. And you can use that as a way to build agents, which are basically a new kind of intelligent mini app that can go wherever you want to go. And so instead of making people come to your website, you might be able to make your website come to your people. So we're seeing a kind of new paradigm of the web, and we're trying to be part of that. So Eliza is an open source framework that you can download and run. In the past, it was very dev heavy, and I'm sure, Jay, you've been through the more difficult times of developing. But we've been working on what we call V2, or like our kind of 1.0 release, where we were, more of a research project and a small team to a much more rigorous product, I think, now with a much better experience. And so we're in beta with that. We're about to launch that out to everybody. And it makes the entire experience like just run one line command and you're all set up and good to go.
I tried the CLI, the Eliza V2 or version 1.0 just the other day, and it was better developer experience, let's say that.
Yeah, dramatically. So we're just finishing the plugin publishing and ecosystem stuff. So it should be a lot easier just to say like, cool, I made a plugin, push it. Don't have to worry about pushing it to a GitHub registry or something like that. And just kind of final polish. And I think it'll be like a really good time for people to come, and I'll be doing another round of dev school and trying to onboard another generation of agent developers into this whole thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I remember seeing the GitHub contributions, that graph of sort of big open source projects, and I'll see if I can pull it up in the background. But sort of basically, when Eliza came out, which is, I mean, when did you go open source? About 6 months ago now? Is that right?
I mean, I've been working on this for a long time, but people really discovered it late October, early November of last year.
Yeah, and then there's that just graph of contributions, Zoom. It's really impressive that the community which has been built around it. And obviously, we're kind of in a bear market now, but it's great to see that you guys are still building it. And I'm really excited to see. We just got our Hedera agent plugin loaded up into the registry. I know there's a few more tweaks that obviously needs to be done for the V2, but we'll definitely be pushing it out on our side. And I guess, I mean, well, let's sort of move on to what we aim to cover today. Basically, in my head, there's two things. I want to showcase this really powerful agent-to-agent communication protocol that we've got on our native Hedera network. Now, again, similar to what you're saying in terms of Eliza being LLM and agnostic to anything, anyone can technically use this agent-to-agent protocol. And I'll go into a bit more detail of it later on. And then I'd really like to sort of work with you, Shaw, and go, okay, we've got this protocol here. How do we embed it into that Eliza layer so it's really seamless? But before I go into that, I'm just interested in hearing what your thoughts are on the agent-to-agent communication protocol stuff. I mean, obviously we've got MCP has been relatively new on the Web 2 side. IBM have actually been starting to do like an agent-to-agent protocol. I think they call it BAI or something. And of course, Near Protocol is doing a lot of stuff when it comes to agent-to-agent communication. So just be interested, Shaw, in what's your pulse on this side of it. How important is it for the future that you see, if it is important at all?
I have complicated feelings on this. On the one hand, I really want to make agents that live in human communication channels. And I think, like, why do we need agent-specific protocols why can't they just communicate on existing protocols, and things that humans can read? And really, like, this revolution in agent interoperability is driven by the fact that they can speak English. And I could say, like, okay, like, what are the primitives that I need to interoperate? We need to be able to pay each other, be able to send you secrets and private data, and be able to send you files, and just generally like text and information and like JSON. And if we have something that covers all of that, like, well, we can just communicate on Discord for most of that, but not all of it. So, I think there is definitely, in practice, I found that there's kind of a need for something we all agree to for payments and secrets. That's probably beyond just like sending information to each other in a chat room. And if you think about, like, if I was to like send you like let's say we were doing a project together right now, and we were like, I was like, I'm not going to send you the private key on Discord or like a Twitter DM. Like, I'd probably send it to you in like a Signal group when we delete, like we would have some sort of private protocol for doing something like that. So I'd expect the same kind of thing from an agent.
Yeah.
And so, originally I was much more purist about this, and I would say, like, there should be no agent protocols. Like, human protocols are agent protocols. But in practice, like in deploying this, I found that there are these kinds of friction points that are real, which are around secrets and that kind of like private information. In payments and stuff, where you can't just use a chat room to moderate that. I also think then that I would also turn around that, like, pretty much any human protocol, agent protocol could probably also be a human protocol. And like the topic thing that you guys have developed with this agent protocol and stuff, it could also just like drive chat rooms and all kinds of human stuff. I imagine that, like, because we're in the age where agents are the hot thing, we're all thinking about that. But the protocol is way more general than that, of course, and
it's cooler to brand it as an AI agent protocol for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, you're telling me, man. Been kind of pigeonholed as the agent guy. So go for it.
Go ahead,
please.
Well, I was just going to say, actually, on the
sorry, we have some delay.
Yeah.
I would just wrap my long-winded thought to say, like, I think that there's a balance of, like, there are places where having these protocols will have utility. I think that we still have to get like I think about the metaverse a lot in how it compares to agents, and how, like, the metaverse was super hypey. It was like, well, it's going to be everything and everyone. There's going to be thousands of people. And it's like, just solve it for one person, but make one good experience where one person comes in and they're like, holy shit, this is amazing. Or like 5 people. Let's just get that down. And I think agents are kind of in the same boat, where it's like, let's just get down to, like, can one agent be in my Discord and be useful without being annoying and like responding to every single person, or stuff like that. And then, like, can we build that out into a swarm that can now interoperate and communicate? And I would say with us, where we're just getting into, like, now we have a swarm of 6 agents that work together and communicate and kind of are like Lego blocking together. And I still think that, like, there's a lot of challenge there, and those challenges really come down to, like, if the agent, like, if somebody hires my agent, then it has to, like, get secrets from them, and it has to onboard with them and get access controls. And I think that's the devil in the details of a lot of this stuff, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, totally. So, I mean, I know in conversations which we've had internally when we're working on these protocols, payment comes up as the big one. And actually, there's a with that topic sort of approach, which I shared with you, which I share live. What you can actually do is you can set this. This is actually a new Hedera improvement proposal which came out, in which you can set a custom fee for a topic. Meaning, in order to submit a message for the topic, yes, you pay the base transaction fee, which is something like 100%, so it's pretty cheap. But you can add a custom fee on top of that of, say, 5 USDC, meaning in order to send that message, in order for it to actually be published onto that topic, you have to have paid X amount of token of your choice, or native sort of a HBAR token, which obviously, when it comes to sort of proving that compute's been paid for, that would be, it's quite a nice solution for it. However, does it fix the secrets key and that element to it? Definitely not. So I mean, yeah, it sounds like there's always going to be new problems to face. There's probably problems and issues that we hadn't considered as well. But
you could build a secrets key management system on top of that if you wanted to. You'd say, like, okay, well, we just need some way that these two sides can issue some sort of key to each other, and then they can just have some sort of encrypted session. And it could be like a ZK TLS thing, so you could even like have like proof that it's that it's real and both sides agree to it, and blah blah blah. But that's generally like once you have your own protocol, you're probably going down this direction of like doing whatever you would want.
I'd imagine people are watching this and going, "Huh, let's do that."
Yeah.
Awesome. Right. Well, I'm going to share my screen then. I'll do a quick demo as to this protocol which we're talking about, and then from that, let's actually look at how we could basically bring it into the Eliza operating system source code, sort of more natively, so it's even more robust. I will share my screen and get into the nitty gritty stuff. So here I've got I'm running sort of a few scripts here. The first one is the Eliza server. So this is actually Eliza. This is Eliza version 1 or Eliza 0.26 version. And this is basically just running like a generic agent. It's got a few Hedera tools. We've got obviously our Hedera agent tool, Hedera agent plugin. Then we have this script over here, this is essentially the client agent. So in this case, the client agent is me. We'll be in sort of it'll be a human to agent thing, a human agent sort of communication. And then we've got another. This is the agent which is sort of consuming these messages and essentially relaying it to the Eliza agent. So this agent is listening to this consensus topic. We can actually see, we'll be able to see all of the messages sort of being submitted onto the block explorer. But I'll start off by, and this would be something which an agent does or a human does. They would ask connect to this particular account. So here we're using a CLI interface, which is actually talking to an agent that has tools for the HCS10 protocol, just to make it a bit easier. But as you can see, it's trying to connect to this agent. So this agent has its own account. It's connected to the agent, it's retrieving the account, and then it's creating a private topic, which only this client agent and the connecting agent are able to communicate to. And as you can see, it's just added an active connection. So I've successfully established a connection with agent at account ID. And we can also see the specific topic ID over here, which is essentially where the messages will be sent to and from. So there's this new topic that's just been created at 4th of April. That's my time, 3rd of April for you. And as you can see, there's only one message. So if we go back over here, we can go, and there'll be logs because it's now found a new connection. But if we go back over here and just go hello, it will now be sending this message. We should see this sort of live on the topic. And again, only the two agents. This has created what's called a private topic in which there's a threshold key. So one of the two keys, only one out of two of these relevant agents keys or humans keys, whatever, are needed to submit a message. And no one else can submit messages to this topic. But this threshold could technically be one of 6. Or it could be one of 10. So you can then have multiple agents inside of a particular topic communicating with each other. That one was sent. So we've got jCall agent sent hello. And then as you can see, it's replied. So the consumer over here has now received that message and it's replied, hello, how can I assist you today with your Hedera network needs? That's obviously been doing that API request to our Eliza backend. And we can then do things like create a token called Eliza. This is what I'm testing at. Create a token with Eliza token with symbol Eliza initial supply and 2 decimals. And again, this will now be communicating to it over that HCS10 network. We'll see another one of these messages pop up. The Eliza agent will be consuming it, hopefully understanding the intent and generating the action. Okay, and right, so we're going to go.
I think it told us how, it didn't actually do it.
Yeah. So what's because we're using this agent interface above the communication protocol, I think we need to say send the message to the connected account. Oh, I've just copy and pasted the wrong thing. Create a token.
That's right.
So it sent it. I did copy and paste the wrong message. So it sent it. Let's see. It probably won't pick up the intent over here. Let's do it again. So we'll go send a message, and then we want to go create a token. That's what we want. Yeah, there's, I think, because we've got this agent which is sort of acting as the interface over the protocol layer. You sometimes need to be a bit specific as to which tool.
Yeah,
so
I got some
now it should be going, and we should also then be able to see it happening over here. Extracted data, symbol Eliza, so sort of generating it, executing handler for Hedera create token. This is on the Eliza agent on the server side, and then it will come back with the token that we've created. And it looks like it's done it as well, actually. So if we in here, yeah, token ID, we can see the transaction details. That's cool.
There we go.
So, I mean, look, this stuff, we've seen this stuff 100 times before. Now, to my point earlier about actually, you can have it such that this topic has a fee schedule on it. So you could say, right, every message on here requires 5 USDC in order to actually send it. So currently one message, like that message costs 0.00012 dollars, so 1/100 of a cent, I think that is. But you could add a custom fee schedule on top of that of 5 USDC, so that you know whenever this agent has consumed it, whenever this agent whenever this sort of message has been sent, a fee must have been paid. So you know that compute has been paid for, essentially, which I think could be good for the agent value transfer side of things. But obviously, if we go into the code, what we're doing at the moment, I don't think we're embedding this particular protocol into the into the Eliza agent as well as it could be. It's really just we're consuming the topic in a separate script, and then we basically got this proxy agent which is essentially posting the past content to the Eliza server via REST API, as opposed to actually being embedded directly into the Eliza server. So, I mean, what do you think, Shaw? Do you think we could maybe spend some time trying to actually get it onto the Eliza layer rather than it being that proxy post? I think if you're... Oh, my bad. Sorry, you're not. I didn't have you on the stage. My apologies.
No, it's not your bad. I somehow managed to flick a gesture on my Mac to pull me out of the thing.
Did you hear me? You could hear
yes.
that? Or?
Yeah. So generally, this is like not a bad approach. I made early on in the development of like what became Eliza. I made an application where I did the same kind of thing, where I basically had like the REST API wrapping, and then the room management was actually handled in the front end. And so just doing the agent that way is like totally fine, right? And now we have a new API in front end stack, which is all WebSockets. So now it can go back and forth and send multiple replies. The only downside of that HTTP approach to me is that it can only reply once, and you couldn't do like an action planning kind of approach. So the thing that we're doing now in V2 is you can call you could say like, oh, cool, I'll do that transaction for you, which is a reply. Then go and commit the transaction, and then reply again. Okay, cool, I did the thing. Here's the result. And we didn't really have that in the first one. And then if we did do the chaining a bit, but it wouldn't send the chained responses back to the front end, because the way HTTP works is it can just call in response. It can't. You could set up multiple responses, but generally you just end up doing WebSockets. So.
Right, the WebSockets approach. So is that? So I'm just looking for the docs now.
Yeah, everything is very different now. There is no REST plugin. Yeah, right. This is the docs. Great. This is the docs. Yeah, perfect. Yeah. So now we have this kind of new GUI which wraps and so when you run the runtime, that starts up the REST API, and it also starts up a client that you can use. So if you wanted to, you could say like, okay, well, I could then go and approach it from WebSockets. But I think what you actually want is a service. And so services are things in the old version of Eliza, we had clients and services, and they're basically like, I just kind of roll them both into just being services. This idea that I have some service that needs to get information, send information, have some persistent state going on. So that would be like a Discord service or a Telegram service. Or, I'm forgetting the name of your exact protocol, but the HT10, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's HCS10.
HCS10, sorry. Yeah, HCS10 service, right? So we could do something like that, right? And then so it would start that service, and it would say like, okay, well, it's going to start a pub sub, right? So it's going to have a publish function and then a subscriber function for that topic, and then we would just have that service do that. Now, you mentioned something I want to go back to, which is like you're building this topic system, which to me would be really interesting for something like agent discovery. So not just like, okay, cool, agents are chatting, like they can chat anywhere, but like, hey, I need to go find another agent that does this thing that I can't do, for example, right? And so that's actually like, I know Near is working on this kind of thing too a lot. This idea of like, you have your home chat GPT, but that's gonna, if that needs to do something it can't do, it can go like hire these other ones. And I think that's a really interesting use case. And the way that you guys built this with the topic, it maps to like a Kafka worker, like a queue, or like it maps to other like distributed system principles that I like. So I think that could be really useful for that kind of service discovery layer.
That's actually, let me see if I can get the right main branch. Let me see if I can get the right. I know for certain there is something like that here. And I've just moved over to the manual CLI as opposed to having that sort of AI agent, which basically does this. But if we go list managed agent, start monitor, initiate, list network connections. But there's definitely an agent discovery component to it, where exactly like you say, there's a registry of all of the available agents. Digging. Because so we've got all of these standards on here. So we've got standards HCS10, and then let's see if there's anything on topic registry operations, registering AI to an agent. So there's definitely I'm pretty sure there's a dedicated topic just for aggregating all of these registries. It's there somewhere.
Everyone just be like, you just have like a hey, here I am kind of thing, and then you just build a list.
And it's like a little sort of, it comes with a description, and then of course you can do things like what's the price of the relevant action that it has, or whatever.
Then you have like little bidding chats.
So it's and that's it. And actually, you could, because you could, whenever there's a new sort of agent to agent or human to agent topic which is created, that's created for that particular chat room. So actually you could have the agent autonomously select what is the fee schedule going to be for this particular chat room. And that could be done dynamically. It wouldn't have to be like, every single time an agent talks to me, I'll always charge $5. You could actually have it where, okay, depending on this particular instance, I'm going to charge 10, or maybe I'm going to charge a different token because I don't know, I see the transaction volume on that's interesting. So
also the chat room becomes a ledger, so it could be like, I'm going to create a new chat, which is like our ledger, and then if and to post on that is like a $10 fee schedule or whatever, and then you post that, and then that becomes like the receipt of the transaction, and then I post the information you wanted, or a receipt of my you know what I mean, something like that.
So I'm gonna see if I register an agent, does that test agent, agent description, cool agent. I'm pretty sure this is I bet that's been done 100 million times, cool agent. So I think if what's that, insufficient payer balance? Great. Okay, let's see if that's because of my run out of HBAR. Not any of these accounts. I'll top that up quickly. Let's do that. Yeah. So what basically happens is it looks like it's creating it's sort of inscribing everything on the consensus server, so including the actual image as well, which is quite interesting. There's this team over here who have been pioneering the HCS 10 standard. They've also created sort of file storage standards where essentially you use this consensus service, this pub subtopic, which is obviously totally hosted on the blockchain. And you can essentially add files onto it because they basically chunk the file up, convert it into base 64, create a standard where you can then sort of rebuild the chunks.
That makes sense.
Which I think is, and they're really focusing on building like a whole decentralized internet, just totally on the consensus service. But by the looks of it, it's created that sort of profile over here, as well as an inbound and outbound topic, which is where all of the conversation initiations come to. So we've got a inscription. Is that the right one? Transaction sentences. Inscribe. Outbound topic. Oh, it's still doing it. It's still doing some stuff. So it's created the profile validation, processing registration transaction successfully, processed registration transaction. Where's that? I wonder if.
Can you list the agents?
Yeah. So if I do now, if we go list agents, now it should show up with the 2. But this isn't all of the agents. This is just
yours.
I've created. Yeah. So I'm just trying to find the new creation registration request. It looks like it's that transaction. And then if we go over here, registration fee. That's a crypto transfer. I'm not quite sure. It's probably in the account for might be in this account. Some of the messages which this one is submitted. Because I'm certain there's basically there's a topic which is specifically for the crypto transfer. I don't know. I think we're going around in circles. Anyway, so yeah, somewhere it's registering to somewhere it's adding it to a registration.
It's on the chain somewhere. We just got to find it.
Yeah, but no, exactly like that. That could obviously be sort of the overlord agent registration topic, where exactly you can then find which one I need to then communicate to has a description of that agent. And so you're saying that would then be good if we have a look at that would be a service. Would that live inside of the Eliza source code, or would that be like a custom?
The way that I would build this is I would build a service into the plugin. So you have a plugin. We can just do this. I can just show you how we can do this pretty quickly.
Yeah. So we go in packages, create something new here.
Do we already have? We have a plugin for the Hedera stuff, right? Somewhere.
We do. Yeah. Let's go. Let's clone that. I don't think I've got it locally because it could just point it to the GitHub repo for it now.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead.
One thing that might be good is to look at how we do some of the other clients, and then like we'll just look at Discord, and we'll just look at the equivalent of how we could do that here.
Okay.
There will be a little confusion between version 1 and version 2.
Yeah. So this, I believe, is focused more on version 1.
That's fine. When I say service, I mean client. Then we'll create a client. What happened was we started using client as a word too many. It's just like there's only so many words.
This is what I hate about tech, isn't it? It's like you have this one word which is used for everything, and so clients are, what have you got? You've got the Discord client, the Telegram client, which plugs into Discord and plugs into Telegram. That'd be something else too, yeah. Yeah.
Well, then you have like a PDF service or a browser service. What's the difference between a browser? Like, is it a client or a service?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the architecture for we've got the actions, and we've got a pretty robust set of actions.
Great.
Just core stuff, and then we've got this provider is just sort of sorting out the agent client, the
Yeah,
Hedera
that's
agent. Okay, and then well, I'll listen. I'll shut up.
Let's
and
go
listen.
look at our let's go look at the index.ts in that plugin.
Index.ts over here.
Yeah, and if we go down to the see that Hedera plugin right there, you see actions. We just have like empty services, so we can just make a service, right? You could probably just make a service, sure, yeah, whatever. And so all the service is like a thing that runs, which can be accessed from other places. So you could say like, okay, well, I want to get service, right? And like, if you needed to get your service from an action or get it from somewhere else, you could totally get a reference to it, which is useful. But generally, just kind of does its own thing, and then like it routes stuff in and out, right?
Yeah. That sounds like what we need. So here it could be something like a get sort of like a listener service, or subscribe to the topic service. Yeah.
So let's make a new service class. Just make a new thing.
And
let's call it topic service.
Are there any other existing? Are there any good service implementations which you recommend we pull up? Maybe get the old cursor to help us build.
Oh yeah, for sure. I would much rather vibe code it. I think what we should do is we should look at Discord. Think like, what's the difference? Like, you've got topics. Discord's got servers and channels. It's a little different. It's kind of the same.
Yeah, but same different concepts, isn't it? Would that be in the? So that's in the Eliza OS plugin registry, yeah.
Yeah, sure. Good. That's a good way to navigate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool. And we could clone it, but let's just look at it. It's not too much code. So there's kind of two main files here that matter. There's a lot of files, obviously. It's got its own actions, providers, and stuff. But the main thing, the entry point is index.ts. Let's look at that. And that's really simple, right? It's just saying, okay, well, I have this client. Remember, services is what we consolidate all this to, but in V1, what we're looking at right now is client. We changed to service, but it's the same thing. So we're looking at, we have a list of clients.
Yeah.
They don't functionally do anything very different. They're just like a thing that runs that can handle stuff. So you can see that, we need to open client. And so this starts up the Discord client. Now, the reason I hated this is you can see the Discord client has a reference inside of it to another client. See how there's a Discord client?
Right. Yes.
That's the actual Discord, like discord.js client that we're importing, right?
Right. Okay.
So the general pattern here is we create our class, which then will, in the constructor, set up and create an instance of whatever our client is. You could have multiple agents, so you should make sure each one has its own instance. That in our case is going to say, okay, well, I'm gonna wake up, and then I'm going to look for topics that I am already subscribed to with my account, right? And so in this case, let's just the equivalent of that. You see, we're like, okay, well, let's construct this. We call it the super, whatever. We set the API. We set some Discord only stuff with intents. That's just Discord stuff. We go. We set the runtime. Discord has voice. This is all just set up, right? Nothing here is. We're not even going to really do anything like this. Probably we'll skip most of this. But you do see that setup event listeners right there.
Where's that event listener? Oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, I got that. Yeah.
So we're going to probably do something kind of similar to that, where we're going to have some sort of subscribe, right? Like, okay, let's subscribe to all of the topics that the agent is part of or something. And here you see how is that client.on. That's Discord's way of saying, okay, well, when I am added to a guild or I create a guild or like I join a server, basically, then call something. The main thing we're looking for here is that you see that there is a on message create toward the bottom of your screen.
On message create. Yep. See it.
And so there's some event which says on message create, and then that calls handle message, right?
Yeah.
And you see that message manager.handle message.bind. It binds this. So in Message Manager, there is a handle message function. And this is kind of how we do all of the different services. There's some sort of like handle, this is what you need. You have I subscribe to that, a message comes in, and I'm going to take that message and I'm going to plug it into the handle message, right?
Yeah.
So we can just go and look at that function, because that's pretty much like it, right? Like if a message comes in, call this code.
Okay. So message manager, I feel like I've seen this. Is there a
It just gets copied and pasted to every other client, but it's not
okay,
really like
yeah. Because I thought I'd seen it in the documentation as well. But essentially, this is like we could technically have a base message manager class and just extend it, and it would be the same thing.
The way that the new, like in V2, what we've done is we've abstracted this, so now we have an event system. So when a message comes in, it calls a message created message event, and so if you're in a chat room, it will handle it with the same like logic that it handles Discord or like a Telegram chat, like the same. Like right now, it's got separate logic for each client. It's got its own prompt, its own handling. So we've actually unified all of that, and that means that it's less of this like Discord manager.handle message, and more like just fire this event, and then we have another like plugin that where you can just write your own event handler, however to handle.
So more event driven as opposed to synchronously listen to the event and then execute it, and then.
Yeah, I would say we went for like an entirely event-driven sort of architecture in the new stuff. So here, like most of this again is just like Discord handling fluff. You probably in your own thing, the one thing you want to make sure is that you're not like receiving messages that you sent, right? So you'd say like if the sender is me, then ignore. And if you look at most of the code up above there in the handle messages, like, is this relevant to me? Should I ignore this?
Respond only to mentions. Okay, because this is a custom. This is a configurable parameter, isn't it? Where you can when creating the Discord client, really false. Okay, so I'm definitely seeing a lot of even on the. If we have a look at this, the message topic, it'll be pretty easy to deduce whether, like here is the messages from a separate agent to myself. So I think, I definitely see there being similarities so far.
Yeah. So you would, the things you want to do, or you want to create a unique ID of the topic. And we have this like string to UUID, which creates a room ID. And that room ID now you can handle. We have to do that because we want to make sure that it fits in our like UUID system and it's generic. And also if you had multiple agents, they're each going to need to have their own like room of the world kind of thing. So it creates this like room for them.
So that is part of the message object then, that UUID.
Yeah, there should be a somewhere down here. You see how we have the channel ID here? We've kind of refactored this again in V2 to be a little more unified, but somewhere down here we create the room ID. See that? UUID. Yeah, there you go. You see how it creates a unique ID for that agent?
Right. Yes.
We have a better way of doing this now in V2, but it's the same underneath the hood. It's the same idea that each agent needs to have its own sense of like the room, because they each receive their own events and who's coming and going and all that. To translate this to our pub subsystem, a message arrives in the topic, which we have subscribed to. We call handle message. We create that unique room ID, and that's how we save it into the database and then like pass it around to other parts.
So that's going into the SQL database for sort of long-term memory, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. And you want to save that as soon as possible, because whenever you like go to respond, you're going to be like, okay, recall all recent memories, and you want to just like have that in there. Otherwise, you have to add it onto the bottom of your query, and if that makes sense. So that like setup event listeners is like all we would need. The rest of this is like you see as on client ready, stop, blah, but like pretty much it's just like handle message and send message are the two things we want. There's one other thing I want to show you in here, which is when you go down to the handle message in Discord. Where is it? It was in the message manager.
Yeah, message manager. Here we go. Over here. So handle message. Yeah.
And all the way down. So all of this is like, should I respond to it? Like all of this code. Keep going. Okay, wait. Hold up. Okay. Yes. Okay. So this is kind of the moment where we're checking a few things. So this is where we say like, okay, we're actually going to compose the state, which will then pass to the LLM to call the response on, right?
Right.
And you see, like, so we compose the state, and then next we say, can we send the message? Just because we realized in Discord you could read messages, but you might not have the ability to write to them, which is the same in your case. You got to make sure, like, well, they can read it, but they might not be able to send to that topic.
Right.
So if they can send, then keep going. We'll keep scrolling down. You see, we've passed the should ignore, so the agent should not ignore. It should respond. Now we've created the context right there, which we then pass into the generate response. See that response content? So that's like the actual LLM call. Like, okay, now there's magic there to generate the response. And from that, we get the response, which we then, that's just some like, okay, let's store the text. Let's make sure we store what it's in reply to. And then we create this callback. And so that callback is a way of like, I can pass this callback around the app and the agent can do stuff and then can call the callback, and that will go to our publish, right? So you might,
Sorry, go ahead.
So if you have like some action, like, hey, send money, and it sends the money, then after sending money, it would have a callback, like sent this money to, and then it doesn't know where it called back to. It's just some action that calls back a thing, but it happens to go back to that right topic. Right.
So I've seen this is over here, isn't it? Handler callback inside of the okay. Oh, interesting. So that's where the callback function is. Okay, I didn't know that. That's really cool. So it's really quite customizable.
Yeah, and each client has its own callback because you're going to have to figure out, is it a DM? You know, in Twitter, like we actually split the final message up to a 280 characters kind of thing and do all that stuff. You know, so that's kind of So then if you scroll down, this callback, this is all just about sending the message, right? Then you can see, okay, so now we go through and we see, well, what action did we respond with? In the new one, we respond with a whole list of actions. You can actually plan a sequence of actions. But in this one, we just pick one action and then we try and chain them. So we pick the action like reply, okay? And then that suppress is because in this version, it would auto reply and you might want an action that suppresses that auto reply. Now reply is just an action, so it just doesn't need it. It's way simpler and cleaner.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm doing a lot of these comparisons, but just to get an idea.
It's really helpful, really useful.
Cool. Yeah, I'll send this to my people as well because we're all getting up to speed. And so then, okay, so then you can see if it should not suppress initial message, then just call the callback on the initial reply. Otherwise, then creates a list of response messages that were and like pass those down into the actions as well. And this is like the response that we would have said but didn't say, and that way we could choose to send it later or something. But again, we've like it's a little messy. I didn't like the way we did this, so it's like way cleaner now.
Just to put some color on that, I think it sounds like you're talking about over here, for example, where we go over here when we had a topic. We had a message. I will create a new topic. This, I believe, is an array of. Is it the right one? So this, I think, is an array. We've got the user says, "I will create a new token." Sorry, not the user, the agent. I will create a new token, and then in the other item, then there's another text here. It's created fundable. So there's like sort of there's that initial reply, and then there's like another reply. Is this the same thing that you're talking about over here when it's sort of it's not suppressing the initial message, it's not suppressing the I will create a new token called Eliza, let's proceed with it?
I think so. I have to look into the guts of how it's creating two messages like that, but I think so.
Because that's something which we were like, well, just need the final one, but it looks like maybe it's something that we could update.
It is that, you see that if you add it to the action suppress initial message, that would make your action not. It would wait to reply until it had done the thing.
I reckon it's the same thing.
Yeah, but in the new one, you don't have to do that. It would just be like, oh, I should do a thing and then reply. And it's quite a bit smarter. And then you can see, so after it prepares those messages, then it updates the recent message state, which basically says like, hey, I've got this state object I'm passing around to stuff. It's expensive to create. So instead of recreating the whole thing, I'm just going to like refresh the recent messages because I just saved that message that we had just gotten, right? That's why we have that update recent messages state.
Yeah.
And then we process the actions, which is like, okay, well, what are the actions we're going to call? And remember, we'd already called back to the user on a reply. So now if we have an action to call, like send a transaction, that process actions is where we do that.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
And
so
then
here in that first reply, we've got, I will create a new token, and it specifies the action as part of that object. So I think, this is sort of affirming it more that this is the initial response. It then after that calls the action, and then there's obviously like another message sent after the action has been executed. Probably this point, process actions.
Yes. And then after that process actions, you see we have that evaluate. And so we run evaluators, which are like anything you want to say, like, how did this go? Did it work? Or any kind of like extract facts from the conversation or reflect on it or whatever you want. And that's the entire loop. So that was the whole message handler. So if we wanted to, let's say we wanted to build our own version of this. Okay, great. Not too hard. I would actually say, like, well, we could vibe code this. We could actually probably, we don't need this service. We can just skeleton out the service really quick, and then the part we'll vibe code is we'll throw in your like Hedera specific code.
Yeah, because I mean, actually, I'm hoping if we have a look in this repo here as well, we've got the that's not the right one. Over here, we should have enough boilerplate, which actually is relevant to exact, because I'm certain over here we've got this logic for handle standard message. Message starts with that. It does all of this sort of processing. There's probably a point even before it goes handle connection. So handle connection request. It looks like we've got the right utility functions in here.
Everything's here.
Everything should be. Let's open that up in Cursor too. Okay.
Yeah. So I would totally, if I was building this, I would say, okay, so we need to make a new client. Okay, well, let's just vibe code this. Let's just go grab index.ts of Discord. Client.ts and message handler, right? Like those are the two we need. Yeah.
So we have then. So when you vibe code, do you go straight into prompting yourself? Because I've got some stick from one of my buddies. Yeah, he's like, Jake, I can't believe you write your own prompts. He obviously, for everything, he gets AI to write his prompts.
I write my prompts, but I use Whisperflow. And so I hold down my key and I'm like, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do this. I want this. And I drag the file and I want you, and that it's like 200 words a minute. It's so nice.
Oh, hang on. Wait, so you say it verbally?
Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Because we can way fast. It's so much more fun when you can talk to it than when you have to type that whole thing out.
Whisperflow.
Yeah. With that one. Oh yeah. I love it. It's paid. There's some free ones, but I like it. It's a good UX. I mean, it's worth paying for.
My monthly budget on AI is pretty high at the moment. So
it's crazy.
I think we could add another service to that.
I just run with that max button on now. It's like 5 cents every tool call.
I'll get this sent afterwards. But okay, so we need to create a new service.
We're a client. Let's call it client. Just because we're in this version, it'll be confused.
So we need to consume messages from a Hedera topic. So we just get it to scaffold it to begin with, just scaffold like throw
those Discord things in, totally.
Scaffold. And what should we call it? Topic service? Is that the?
It's topic client.
Topic client because it's still okay. Let's call it topic client. Topic client. I'm gonna delete this.
And so we definitely need. Let's just to help it out a little bit. We know that it needs a constructor to set up and initialize onto the service.
To initialize and so if we compare that over here, that's going to be that's not the right one. I'm doing it in the wrong. Am I doing it in the wrong one?
No, we're on GitHub. That's why.
Yeah. So we've got, in terms of, I'm going to close that. I've got too many tabs. Hedera Eliza, this is.
It's a browser somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So, sorry, what are you saying? We've got do we need to extend this event emitter?
No.
No. Okay.
You should see the constructor takes a runtime.
Yeah.
So that way it can have a reference runtime for like handler and stuff. That's like the only thing it really needs.
Okay. So let's go. Here is the reference client. And then do you do, so I've got a habit of sort of doing like basically markup tags when adding context. Do you do that, or do you find it's not necessary?
I don't find it necessary, but I don't think it hurts.
Yeah, because I think we're going to add another. So this is the Discord.
It does love XML.
Yeah, exactly. Trading a lot of that stuff. Discord client. Now I was looking for the. Where's that gone? So we've got. Oh, it was the right one. I closed that. So I'm trying to find where load connections from outbound topic. I think this will be one of the. Maybe we can do it after it's scaffolded, but I'm pretty sure one of these. Don't need that. Let's delete that. Don't need that. Don't need that. There's a lot of
prompt optimization.
Because I updated this template just so we could actually integrate it into Eliza. So there's so much redundant stuff now. Looks like we're getting
nice. We're almost there.
Okay, cool. So we have. Okay, so we've got the load connections from outbound topic, which I think this I believe is going to be our init, because it shows all of the info handle connection request. Where's that being called? That happens inside of.
Well, what's initializing this agent?
Say it again.
What's initializing this agent? Is there like a main function or some sort of
entry point? Yes, there is. There's a main function over here. Yeah. So we've got. Good idea. So we have. Okay, so we're using the HCS. So there's an SDK for it. We're creating the client over there. That's then using the. So it's using this. This is basically fetching it from the registry. There we go. The registry is a separate URL. Okay. And then monitor topics. So, okay. So we're going to want to monitor the topics, aren't we? We're going to monitor the topics. We've given it the client inside of the client. And we then have, what should I do? Should I just chuck in this whole file?
I mean, all this code is good. Yeah, I would just check in the whole file. All this code is going to be identical. The only thing that's different is that instead of calling the HTTP like the REST call, we're just going to handle it.
Right. Okay. So we've got scaffolding template. Use the reference. Okay. Here is the topic client. Here's the. Yeah, I feel like it'd be nicer to. I'm much more fluent when I'm talking as well. Here's some set source code that can be used for the new topic create topic client that we build. Here's some separate stuff. Right, okay, let's hit send. Anything else you recommend maybe putting in here, or do you think we've got it's a pretty hefty prompt, so?
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, let's see. What models are you using at the moment when vibe coding?
I've been playing with Gemini 2.5, but I find that it asks me too many questions, and I just want it to fucking go. Right. And so I still really like Claude. Yeah. I'm on Claude 3.7 Max with thinking. I'm like, just put all the knobs up to 10, all the numbers. People have said they don't like 3.7, especially 3.5. They're probably right. It's very aggressive. You know, it makes a lot of readmes and shit.
Well, I've had issues with 2.5 where it will kind of just, I think similar thing what you raised, it just stops. And I'm like, I've just spent 5 cents on 20 words.
Yeah.
Whereas
Do it.
just literally do it. Like I had I was doing, when I was creating this code yesterday, this sort of updating what we had before so that it basically implements, it calls the REST API. I mean, it was literally, it was so trivial. It was like deleting 10 lines of code. All of it was inside of this handle standard message. It was deleting 10 lines of code and then just adding in this post request. And I did like I was live stream. I was in a call with one of my buddies, the one who says, "Oh, I use AI to generate the prompt." So I did that. Took about 5 minutes, pasted it in, and I used Gemini 2.5, and it just stopped after like it updated one line, and then it stopped, and I was like, "Come on, man!" And then I ended up just doing it myself anyway.
Just like Google ethos, it's just like too safety oriented, you know. Claude just goes, they let it rip.
There seems to be like a lot of good PR, at least for Gemini 2.5. I've been getting a lot of this is amazing, and I've not quite had that yet myself.
I haven't either, but I found like in coding, it's the only model I tried for them that I didn't hate immediately and throw away. So I was like, okay, this is okay, and it's got a long context. And they do cool stuff, you know. They usually have their stuff is really fast and cheap. It's just Claude has just been so good. It's kind of hard to,
yeah. And there's definitely the bias. I mean, I've been sort of using the GPT reasoning models for a long time, so I've got my own sort of bias when it comes to those. But when I started using Cursor more, I was quite adamant for a period of time, like because I use NeoVim often, and I couldn't get my Vim config to set up in VS Code. So I was like, nah, I'm not going to use any of these AI codes. But then I realized actually I can just import it. So now I've got my NeoVim config all like set up in here, and I'm also using AI, so there's no excuses not to.
Yeah. I think that was the real thing that killed Vim as like a separate. It's just Vim and Cursor now, and Vim and
that's it.
But it's AI is what's killing it. Everyone I know who's like, okay, I guess I have to.
Yeah, because it's just so much quicker. So it looks like it's done something here. So we've got so it's created the topic client. That looks pretty good. It's got the constructor, which looks pretty decent. I'll need to add these environment variables in. Setting the client, makes sense. And then initializing and monitor. I mean, it's pressing me so far. Load connections from outbound topic.
This does seem to be right.
This looks pretty good. So I'm guessing over here, it's probably going to call the REST API, isn't it? So maybe if we have a look at, is there like an HTTPS request? I wonder if, do you reckon it would have, do you think it would have extracted, it would have realized that post request is actually just calling Eliza? So maybe it's already.
Well, we gave it the Discord stuff, right? We said use the.
So where's the.
Is there a handle message?
This client, get message context. This is handling the standard message. So I guess in the other example, we don't have a message.ts here. Is that the end of the world?
Yeah.
Or is it...
No. It doesn't matter. This is fine. This is great. This is totally working. You see, we got the responses text is null, and then we're going to scroll down because we're going to try to probably going to try and set that. See how there's a lot of empty code here that's commented out?
Yeah.
We need a way to map the Hedera connection to Eliza, and they give you some options. This is classic fucking Gemini right here. Why not just write the code? But it's like totally on point. Like it's doing good. So then you can see it's like, okay, cool. And then the response text right now is just going to fill it in right there. See how it's just going to say received on.
Yes.
Respond with it. So it's kind of a Marco Polo. and then it's going to have the this.send response. So it's clearly missing the logic to call into Eliza and run the model, but that's like 10 lines of code. We can just get in there. We're like 90% of the way there.
That's pretty impressive. Okay, so let's go. So we'll go use option 1. Use Hedera topic IDs, room ID, request IDs as you. That option 1 makes sense to you? The Hedera topic ID is unique. No, it needs to be a UI. Create a UID.
Option 2.
Okay. Looking great. Let's use option 2.
There's a couple of things I noticed that it's not doing that it needs to do. Can we look at the constructor?
We've got a constructor up here.
Okay, no, I'm wrong. It takes a runtime and it sets this.runtime equals runtime. Great. Okay, cool. So then we have a runtime. Okay, so I would just say, looking great, let's use option 2. And then let's just tell it handle messages the same way as Discord. And then let's just paste in that handle message function from Discord, which does the callback.
Yes. Let's then handle messages. Okay, so we've got handle message. Should I paste in the whole client or just the handle message?
Just the handle message.
It's a big old function there. So this is basically all just, don't message, do message, don't message, do message.
I think it went a little too far.
Is it up at this point? This is the right point, isn't it?
That's the right point, yeah.
Yeah, okay, let's delete that then. Oh, hang on. Check. No, I think I went way too far.
Yeah.
God damn it.
I know.
It's got to be like a handle message. When does it end?
There.
It ends.
570 to 10 something.
Boom.
Okay. And I would tell it.
Stop.
I would just tell it to ignore the should respond / should ignore logic. Otherwise, it's gonna.
Okay, so we've got that running. While it's doing that, see, this is my favorite part about AI, is because you can then do something else while.
They finally added in Cursor. Now you can have 3 different tabs running, so you could have like different operations. Like I've got on screen 1, I'm running this. On screen 2, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
I'll do like some like moonbag YOLO shit. Like, okay, do this crazy feature, and if it works, I'm like, oh, that was a great free win. Save myself a day.
Because I think literally, I think that's where you get the real efficiencies, is when you have these multiple AI workflows just happening in parallel, and you're just sitting there just orchestrating. And I guess soon it's going to be an agent orchestrating, isn't it? It's not even going to be.
You got to do it. You got to get on the voice, because there's like, no, man, that's not it. You got to remove that. You got to add this, and then you're like, okay, good. The next one, like, okay, it's like, wow, I got like junior engineers. I want the VR headset just so I can have like the 3 cursor screens. With the 3, I can yell at them. I know.
Could you do that with the Apple Vision Pro, or is it?
Oh yeah, totally. You could totally do that. Yeah, just be like a weak prod. You could vibe code a nice little interface kind of thing.
I'm pretty sure I've got. Okay, I've reduced that so there's no private keys leaking here. So what do we need? We need inbound topic. Okay, so I guess I've got this example. Let's do. Okay, and that's the Hedera account ID.
That's his account ID.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, there we go. Why code when obviously Eliza knows, Kirsten knows.
I know, tab to fix.
Yeah, tab.
Incredible.
Okay, so we've got network. Okay, we can refine the. Looks like there's a bit of duplication here, but and then. Okay. So we need a Hedera network. And then this registry URL, where's that coming from? Okay, moonscape.tech, yeah.
Sick.
So this is that would be where we find the okay. Okay, so let's done that. It's taken me the same time as Eliza's done all of this. So what's new? What's new? What's new? Do you ever use this review chain? I just find this makes it does like another AI call there, doesn't it?
I just accept all.
Yeah.
Does it? I thought I don't know. I usually just go through and then I press that to actual review. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does like another LLM call. But I guess we've got the handle standard message. This should then.
So let's see. We're looking for process actions, right?
So it's got this dot send response. Process messages dot get. Guess I should have accepted it before in hindsight, and then could have seen the diff.
Oh, you can just undo too. You can undo and it'll show you the yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, the diff is the entire thing.
Yeah,
but, does it have like a process actions?
I don't think it does.
Okay, so it doesn't seem like it updated this. No, you know what? Look, it didn't. It fucking Gemini'd you, man. It's telling you what it's gonna do. It didn't do shit.
Do that shit.
Why don't we can just switch to Claude, like.
Yeah, let's do that. Fuck you, Gemini. This is Claude Sonnet, Matt. Do that, bro.
So real.
Oh man, it's like, bro, come on! It does all of this thinking. Yeah, it thinks for 5 minutes.
I've got a really good idea of how to solve this. If you give me,
yeah. It's like, I'm not paying you to give me ideas. I'm paying you to execute on them.
This is what's gonna happen with your damn like 5 cent fee on chatting. I'll tell you the answer to that for 5 cents.
I'm convinced that it's like something which they've organized between themselves, where you're just paying 15 cents for one prompt because you have to follow up with let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so
they deal with Google, obviously.
Where's the other Eliza? There we go. So now we've got a better diff too.
Cool. It's creating memory. So you see it doesn't look entirely done to me. I'm skeptical. It looks like 99% now. Yeah.
So we've got, this is inside handle standard message. We have if error send response, makes sense. Creating the room ID, creating the user ID. Yep. And that's using the connection topic. Yep. So that's a good format. Bearing in mind this connection topic, by the way, is going to be 0.0 inch.
Yeah, that's fine. It just needs to be some sort of seed. We've actually made this a lot cleaner now, but that's fine.
Okay.
Now it's like runtime dot create unique ID. But
nice. Nice. Yeah. So then we've got ensure connection. Is that being? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's just make sure the room and everything is set up right. Participants are set up right.
Right. Okay.
Creates message ID. Creates the content. Now that content. Okay. So this is saving the incoming memory. This is the message that somebody else has sent. So we're gonna receive this. We then add an embedding to the memory and create it. That way it's like searchable.
Yes, embedding zero vector. Okay.
Then we go to our user message and you can see that we have content there.
Where's that? I don't know. I've not. Okay, that's coming from over there. All right. So then we have content over.
Oh, sorry. That user. Okay, I see what they're doing. So it's basically like the same thing as the memory. This is the same message as the memory. We're passing that into the compose state.
Yeah.
And then we create the state. Now you see how it says if should respond. That's just like some ugly. They've kind of, you know, how we had a should respond handler. They're just like it's just true. So they're kind of hard.
But this would technically be configurable from like
yeah.
Okay, that's always going to be true. Yeah.
Let's just keep it true for now.
Yeah.
And then you can see we generated a response. We have that generate response function.
Response generated. Yeah.
And then we say, well, if there's no text, then it didn't write anything to respond with.
Yeah.
Then it creates the callback.
Callback over here. So that's not used. That's sent message.
Yeah, but I think I thought this was wrong, but now I get it, which is this .send response is like your callback back to your publisher, and then it just doesn't care what it responded with. Is it an okay? It doesn't really need that information.
Yeah.
So it's actually right. You can see in the other cases return. Yeah. So I think this is a
except file. Good stuff.
Yeah. Should work.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go right. So now I basically need to hook it up into. If I get the actual Eliza v1 up, that's over here.
Yeah, we got to do one more step in the code. We got to actually add the client to the client's array so that it's in the plugin.
Of course, yeah. So we've got. So let's go. That's in topic. So we don't need this index file, do we? We can just import it straight from.
Yeah, just import it.
Okay, so we've got index.ts services.
Make a new one for client. This is actually going to be a client. So make a new line for clients. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Tab ship. Great.
What's that saying?
Why?
I think it's export detail. That's why.
Oh, you just gotta
export.
Yeah, you gotta import that interface, right?
Should I just rename that to just topic client? Is that better in line with the?
No. Just name it that. It's easier if it's use that. What it's giving you. Because what it actually is it's like a getter that creates an instance of the topic client for you.
Okay, sweet. So we've got that code. Now, if I go over here, Hedera Eliza, I think currently in our package.json, we've got, I'm pointing towards that. So I guess I can do, how do I put it to a local repo? I go,
well, there's a couple ways you could do this.
Yeah.
I think you could do the file thing. I would try that. The way that I usually do it, the cheating way is you just clone this repo into your packages folder, and then it just joins the workspace.
Okay. Let's do this, and then if something messes up.
I like this because it's super. It's,
it might not work.
Let's see what happens.
It might not work. And then so. I did remember. Do I install it in here, or would it auto? Or do I need to do PNP install over this side?
You will need to npm install into your plugin if you are here. If you do the other route where you clone it into your packages folder, then it's just part of your workspace. Right. Yeah. So let's do that. I will be very impressed if this works. If not, we've overrun slightly. I actually need to drop off, but I'll definitely be. Okay, don't have those inputs. So HCS10 client, that's coming from. Is it because we're importing from dot? Yeah, that's
terrible. Yeah, right. Okay, because so let's actually go from. I think this is the Hedera. This is the standards SDK. So that's coming from. Right, let's go npm install. Actually, there's an example over here. Ashcroft Online Standards SDK. Let's add that into our. And then we've got Ashcroft Online Standards SDK. Cool. Is that everything? That was the only logger. Do we need that logger?
Which logger is this? Is this the Eliza logger? It's probably coming from core.
No, this is not. This is coming from the. From
yeah.
here,
Never mind. I see. Yeah.
Utils logger. I mean,
You have your own logger.
That's just
just replace. Oh yeah, that's fine too. But we use the same logger. You could just use the logger from Eliza.
Yeah. Okay, so what's the Eliza log? It's called
just import logger, like lowercase, and then just find replace the uppercase logger.
We've got the. This is it, yeah.
It's logger now, not Eliza logger. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's delete that. And then,
if you just replace Eliza logger with logger, and import that.
Eliza.
Yeah, but we rename. Oh, let me think about this. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, it looks like it's done it.
Yeah, we have some red though.
Yeah, where's the? What? Let's just go back. Okay, so we've got. Don't want that. Class, what's this error?
If you want to hack this really quick, just say const logger equals Eliza logger, and then you won't have to change all of those.
Okay, good idea.
Yeah.
But still, logger. Why? Okay, why is this coming up as duplicate identified? Why is that?
I think somehow we got two classes.
This is okay. This is fact. Control Z. This is fine. Okay, we're good. So const logger equals Eliza logger.
Yeah.
Now we're good. There's no. It still says red up here, but I think that's fine. Let's give that a try.
Model viewer.
Looking good. Yeah, there's definitely some. I don't know where that's coming from.
3JS.
3JS. It's not needed, is it either?
It's wrong vibe coding project.
Where is that coming from?
I hope it's not the core. That would make me nervous.
With these big projects, they just never know, do you? Okay, well, we're definitely past. Okay, that's built. So now we can then go PM start, or should I do another install? Yeah, I probably should do another install over here, just so that it's pointing towards.
See how it does.
Oh, no, 20. I may have even been node 20 in this version.
As long as it built, it's fine.
Yeah, okay.
There's a few things that wouldn't like that, but we're not using any chip or anything like that. So.
Okay, PM start. And so what we're expecting if I've got another. Let's go.
No, this is good. We have a bunch of
I think I've also got Eliza running over here. I'm going to stop that one.
So the problem is that we're missing settings.
So okay, is that on in the environment variable side? So we've got account ID missing. Because that needs to be set here. Yeah. Okay. So let's get my environment variable from here. Just testnet keys. Don't have any.
Yeah.
Any
you know, someone took my test Twitter account that I stream with and stole it and put a meme coin shell on it. Changed the password.
Bro, it's like, come on, man.
So annoying. I know, guys. You're making my life so hard.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Duplicate stuff here. This is the one thing I don't like about Vim, is that takes the previous, when you delete something and replace it, bloody adds it to the, okay, so that's the, don't need that. Need that. Topic Hedera outbound, yeah, okay. Think this is looking good. Actually, I think we need that one. Right, so
we have a couple of an empty private key and account ID secret there below, which might erase the ones above.
Well, I think also we need like a.
Yeah, we might want to just find and replace that. This should just be the same. But yeah. Also, I found that sometimes those freaking hashes get read in.
Really? What? Yeah. Even if there's a.
I don't know what the standard is, but I was pulling my hair out on something yesterday, and like the Solana program ID that I was passing in, it was like, oh yeah, it's got like
really?
that, like yeah, the whole comment. So what the?
Yeah, that's not the environment variable that I put in. Okay, I think this is better. Let's go pimp start. Still an error. What's that for? I don't know. It's totally wrong. We also need. Yeah, we definitely need to, because there's these account IDs are needed for.
Let's just copy and paste these, and then just change the names of them to get this hacked. Yeah. But I think we just need to change the.
Yeah, it just needs to align it with everything else we've got. Inbound topic ID we have. That one we have. Oh no, it's not even the same one.
And that's it.
And that should be it. Okay.
Pray for rain.
That's unlucky. What's that?
We did save, right?
We did save. Where is this error?
Well, because it's in the plugin. It's in the other plugin. All right, just stupid hacks. Let's just make sure that the code, because we're in different working directories with the npm. Let's maybe just paste those environment variables into the other secrets and just like, this is a stupid hack, but
okay,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Over here, yeah, you're right. Over here, it's doing the different.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got. Oh, man, this feels so retarded.
Yeah. It's like, if you can get it into a form where the AI can take over, you're like a god. But when you have to manually do it,
yeah, it's like, and I've just. Okay, that's not even the right one. So we've got. Don't need OpenAI. There we go. Save that.
Hopefully. Coding is easy. It's the other stuff.
What? Account ID. I don't know why that's happening. So that in here,
I have a theory. I have a quick theory. And if you want to hack this, let's just go to the this topic client, and since we're probably using it in this helper, let's just import .env, and let's just call it .env config, because it might just be a thing where .env is not getting configured in time.
Do you know what? It's the classic case of, so it's throwing the error saying these settings are not configured, but actually it's a different. The environment variable is a different name.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, this was Gemini, that bit. That was Gemini.
Yeah. That's some Gemini shit.
Which actually is what I had. So okay, all right, let's go. Yeah. Okay. So we've got. I'm just going to do this. That looks good.
Sick.
And then I'm just going to put it in the other. I've got a feeling it'll be back in here, won't it?
Let's see what happens.
Okay. Got everything here. I feel like it's missing stuff again. Oh no.
Shove it all in. You can tell Claude to duplicate it later.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got save stuff. It's too many times. Right. Now let's go. This is the time.
If it doesn't work, let's just add .env and call config. It might just be a race config. Like runtime is getting instantiated before.
Oh, do you think? Okay.
Hey,
we're fine. Oh,
great.
Look at that. Querying the messages. Okay, sweet. So let's go. Let's set up over here.
Send us a message.
Let's send a message, man. Yeah. Okay. So we've got, what do we want? I'm going to go npm run CLI demo. And then we want to go initiate new connection. Then the account ID is this one.
We do have to give it to Gemini for basically one-shotting that entire thing.
It did a good job, in fairness. But it could have been better. That I think is where it gets annoying, is like it did 90% amazingly, but had it just done that extra 10%, it'd be like, bro.
No, it wasn't wrong. It just had a bad personality.
Yeah, they wanted to get the extra 5 cents. So it looks like it's got it. So we have seven active connections. 7 active connections.
Can we send it a message and see if it responds?
Well, so I think it's not confirmed yet, I don't think. So we've sent a request. Maybe there's some logic in here where it's I've got a feeling it picked it up basically.
Yeah, I don't know if it did. I think we're going to want to pass it back through and say, hey, this is what we're sending. Because, well, the other thing is that it's sending a request to create a new topic, right? Like it's going to have to create a new...
Yeah, so what it's done over here we go. So basically, this is the inbound topic for our Eliza agent. So it's querying that. And in this inbound topic, there's a new connection request which was just sent. So this is 1 minute ago. New connection request sent from Todd being our agent over here. Now it doesn't seem, it must just be that it's not come back saying, okay, this is the saying connected. So probably just on Eliza, it's going to be a case of, on this side, it'd just be a case of maybe network type. Yeah, I wonder if it's load connections from outbound topic. Found messages, current connections.
It's bad that it's not using that. I think we should jam the original code back through and say, hey, we're sending this and it's not handling it.
Yeah, okay, let's do that. So we've got, where's the original code? And we want it in demo, which is 10, polling agent, Okay, so. Right, plugin dash Hedera there. I mean, so it's not. Yeah, it's not. It's not finding new. Oh, but do you know what? I reckon if we close it and start it again, it will have this new. Obviously, it's not ideal, but it would probably have the new topic in its sort of memory and then make the connection. Currently is able to find the old connections, but the new. I want to see if I stop the client and then start again. So there's 7 active connections. If I
Let's see
then
if
go,
there's 8. Yeah.
yeah, if I restart it, it might. There's 8. No, it still says 7. Error handling.
Failed the fetch account.
That so process request 15. That looks like it's the one that we have over here. Yeah, request ID 15. Okay, so it's got this error handling the request. So I wonder if that had. I wonder if we missed the error further above. But
Probably search.
where's it gone? Error handling connection request.
We did. Let's just copy and paste that in and see if it's got any thoughts.
It's cooking over here. So this happens. If something over here throws the error. Not the best error.
Let's just get rid of the try. There's no reason for a try on this. I just comment it out at least. Then we'll at least see where. That's like my least favorite thing about.
Do you know what it looks like? It's actually just up. It's just done it itself, isn't it? Let's see what Curse has done.
No, I think that when you comment it out, it just makes a recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah, and then just toss that try because it always adds try handling, and it's like I just want to see where the error came from.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Let's rebuild that.
Yeah.
Do I need to build something here?
You need to rebuild the plugin really quick, but no, you shouldn't need to. Just start here.
Just start, yeah?
Yeah.
Error handling. It's not giving up. It's not giving a different error. I wonder, is that because I haven't built this plugin over here? I didn't build it last time, so I don't think that'd be the.
You got to build the plugin for sure, but you shouldn't have to build the Eliza.
Right. Okay, that'd be right then. Yes. So. It's loaded 7.
Monitoring loop.
Error handling connection. Same error.
So we see the error. Let's just paste those 3 lines in and just say like this is the handling connection request number 15 failed to fetch account error handling connection. Those 3 lines. Oh yeah, those 4 really.
Should I fall back or what's it?
No. Just paste it in. Just shove it in there. Yeah, LFG. What is it saying?
Is error handling connection required? It's just still cooking. It's still planning.
It would extract, but the actual issue. See, it says it sees the issue.
Oh no, it can't. Can't be the. Right. Interesting. So I deleted.
Those like 3 lines of code.
That. Yeah. So let's just. Oh, that's the wrong one. What did I do there?
You might want
to. Oops.
I think it fixed. Just roll with it. I think it figured it out.
Okay.
Because it had the example too, so it.
I had it in. Basically, there was when I was deleting stuff,
I'm not too worried.
This one. That was the logic over here. Okay, all right, let's yellow it. Hit that.
Yeah.
Ship
it.
Okay, and then over here. It's pre-populating existing ones. That's fine before.
Boom. No.
Nah, it's still. Code 404. No, is that why would that be? Well, let's try a new request. Let's see if I send a new request.
That request also probably is over.
Because it's that might. I don't know if that'd be right. Let's go 6, and then we're going to do the same agent. Let's see if this one does anything. Bro, I really need to drop off after this one, unfortunately. But
no worries. I think we've basically gotten it down to
something we're pretty
stupid.
Close.
1 line of code, and we've got to.
So look, it's picked it up, hasn't it? It's gone error request. So it's definitely consuming it. I think there's just something processing that connection. Well, I'll do that in my own time. But cool. This was very, very. I really enjoyed this, man. Thanks a lot for coming on.
I love having
man. Yeah, I will. Look, I mean, if you ever want to do this again, man, more than welcome to.
Let's do like a V2 thing.
7,000, 8,000 people in here, so this is a good turnout. There's been quite a few comments, quite a few questions for you, which I don't think we'll stay in touch. Sure, it was really, honestly a pleasure having you on. Your insights on prompt engineering were very helpful as well, and I guess when V2 comes out, we're going to have to update the code slightly. So look, I'll offer the invite when V2 is fully loaded, and we can do a good old release on that.
Yeah, a couple weeks, and also it's mostly like Control F service and replace replace clouds or a couple of things like that. So all right, awesome, man. Thank you so much, and
take care. Have a great rest of the day, mate.
You too. Take care.